First, prepare the filling. Turn on the stove, place a large pot, and pour about 100 milliliters of oil, then let it heat up. Once the oil is hot, add 1 finely chopped onion. Immediately add half a teaspoon of salt. When salt is added to the onion, it will release water, just enough for the water to evaporate and the onion to soften. Then lightly fry it in the oil. When the onion softens and starts to fry, more precisely when it starts to get a slightly yellow color, add the ground meat. Add between 500 and 800 grams of ground meat, depending on how much filling you want to make. Add 100 milliliters of water to the ground meat. Then add another half teaspoon of salt, almost a full teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of parsley. Continue to simmer on medium heat until the excess water evaporates. You can add any spices you like. When the excess water evaporates and the bottom looks dry, it's time to remove the meat from the heat. Here, I have 750 grams. Next, we prepare the dough. In a mixing bowl, add 750 grams of flour. Add 1 tablespoon of salt and 10 grams of baking powder. Then mix everything. Pour 500 milliliters of lukewarm water and first mix with a spoon. Then knead the dough. When the dough thickens and you can no longer mix with a spoon, start kneading it. Now that everything is combined, place the dough on the work surface. Sprinkle some flour and continue kneading. When the dough no longer sticks to your hands, stop adding flour. Sprinkle about 30 more grams to the previous 750 grams of flour used for the dough. When done kneading, the dough should look like this, soft and smooth. Now, sprinkle the table in front of you and divide the dough into 8 to 10 pieces, depending on the size you want at the end. I will divide it into 10. The center of the dough is always sticky, so you can dip it in flour, then shape into balls and place on the floured surface. Once the balls are made, sprinkle them with flour and let them rest for 5 minutes. I used a total of 800 grams of flour. After 5 minutes, take each ball and roll it out with a rolling pin. Once the dough is rolled out, add the filling. Oops, I've placed it on the wrong half. Why did I put it there? Add as much filling as you want. That's why I said between 500 and 800 grams of meat. Now you can add some hard cheese. Then close it up. Press the edges with your fingers. Then cut off the excess dough. Use the excess dough later to make an additional stuffed flatbread. If you don't have a pizza cutter, you can cut the excess with a plate. Now that we've finished the last one, take the remaining dough and knead it. Here we will get one more stuffed flatbread. So be careful when filling the others, leave some for one more. Since this dough is quite tough, let it rest for a while, then fill it. Now that they're all made, we decide how to cook them. Choose whether to bake them in the oven or fry them in oil. Take 1 egg yolk, 1 tablespoon of milk, mix them together, and brush the flatbreads with this mixture. Now that this is done, preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Before baking, sprinkle with flax seeds. You can sprinkle with anything you like. Once the oven is preheated, place them in to bake. The other way is, as I said, frying. Pour oil about a finger deep into the pan, heat it to medium-high heat, then fry them. Once fried, let them dry on a cloth. I have arranged both types. Here you can see the fried ones and the baked ones.